Hey there, quirky people! The MCU is already branching into several new directions. We've got setups for the Young Avengers, Fantastic Four, Eternals, and the whole multiverse with all Phase 4 projects till now. But along with all these teases, we also have a big setup for the Thunderbolts within the MCU. They will be MCU's version of the Suicide Squad. By that, I mean that there'll be a team of several MCU antagonists who will be turned into anti-heroes. The seeds for this evil team of villains and anti-heroes have been planted with the arrival of Contessa Valentina Allegra de Fontaine.
Actually, it's Contessa Valentina Allegra de Fontaine. Yeah, it's hard.
She made her debut in The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And now she has also made an appearance in Black Widow. So she is clearly doing what Nick Fury was doing in Phase 1.
See, now that's some bullshit.
She is assembling a team, and she also has some major player backing her. Now I have 4 theories for who could be her backup. 3 of them are Hydra, Skrulls, or Leviathans. She had connections to all 3 of these people and organizations in the comics. So Marvel could use those connections to conjure a new narrative that I will discuss in future videos. Now I believe that there's someone other than these 3. According to my 4th theory, Thaddeus Ross has been her silent partner. He has been wanting some powerful players of his own ever since the Incredible Hulk. And now I believe that he will lend his own name to the new team that he is forming along with Val. We are getting the Thunderbolts within the MCU, and Black Widow has given us a clear picture for its lineup. Now before I discuss the roster, it would be amazing if you guys would hit the subscribe button, and press the bell icon if you don't miss out on our future videos. Now getting to the point, the first Thunderbolts member we've got is
You built me.
John Walker. Val made her MCU debut by recruiting John Walker as US agent. He has led the Thunderbolts in the comics, and he could be the field leader of this team within the MCU as well. Since this team has a darker vibe, Walker will be a much darker leader than Steve Rogers, and that is also represented by the color scheme of his suit. He'd be willing to take the hard decisions that Steve would not have taken, but it will be interesting to see how he will work with Baron Zemo.
No!
As of now, Zemo is locked up at the Raft, which is under the control of Ross. So he'll probably be added to the team by Ross himself. He could act as the master tactician of this team. And his resources as a Baron might also make him the Bruce Wayne or the Tony Stark that his team desperately needs.
Oh, actually, he's the boss. I just pay for everything and design everything and make everyone look cooler.
While Walker might still find it easier to work with Zemo, it may not be as simple the other way around. Zemo hates super soldiers and all super people in general. He had those other flag smashers killed through his Russian butler. So he may have a problem working with a team of super people because of what happened to his family in Age of Ultron. Let's see what changes his mind. For the next candidate, we have Yelena Belova.
Ugh, that was disgusting.
After The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Val showed up in the post-credits scene of Black Widow. It revealed that Yelena had been working for Val for quite a while. For now, she will be going after Clint Barton. But once she's done with that mission, she could assemble with the team that both Val and Ross have been recruiting. And she'd obviously be the team's Black Widow replacement. Taskmaster. Black Widow gave us a big twist on Taskmaster's identity. Instead of Rick Mason or Tony Masters from the comics, Antonia Dreokov turned out to be MCU's Taskmaster. She was finally freed of her father's control. But it has been 8 years since that happened in the MCU's timeline. Throughout her life, Antonia had been fighting for her father under chemical subjugation. She had a chip in her head, and even though she was aware of what was happening in her surroundings, she had no control over her life. She was used as a weapon, and all she knows till now is how to fight. Now in these 8 years since Black Widow, she may have gone on to have a normal life, but I believe that she would have found it strange. She might even have struggled with her newly found peace, just like Bucky struggled in The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And that could have brought her back into the fighting game. So there is a chance that Val would have already recruited her along with Yelena Belova. And she has been on a few missions of her own between the events of Black Widow and the present-day MCU. After Taskmaster, another villain confirmed for the team is Abomination. Emil Blonsky has been locked up in a cell ever since the Incredible Hulk. Maybe he was contained on a different level in the Raft, and we just haven't seen him in one of those cells. It could be exactly like how Wanda was imprisoned on a different level than the other Avengers. But anyway, he is returning as the Abomination in Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. And we've theorized that Ross may have sent him on a mission to win the Ten Rings tournament and get those magical rings. But he may not win, or as the trailer has suggested, the tournament wouldn't even get completed as the Death Dealer would cause an interruption. So Blonsky's mission could remain incomplete, and whatever deal he struck with Ross won't be fulfilled. Hence, he'd still have to work for Ross, and that would make him a member of the Thunderbolts. We should expect the events of She-Hulk to set this up. Agatha Harkness. In a recent interview with Rotten Tomatoes, Kevin Feige weighed in on how the fans loved Agatha Harkness and John Walker. He stated that people were demanding to see more of both these characters. Now, John Walker will obviously become a part of the Thunderbolts lineup since he has been recruited by Val. But I think that Feige may have hinted at Agatha's role in the Thunderbolts as well. By the end of WandaVision, Wanda had held her in a mind prison. But she is still around, and Kathryn Hahn would probably return as Agatha in Doctor Strange too. So after that, she could become the Scarlet Witch counterpart among the Thunderbolts. Doctor Strange 2 could begin her redemption arc, and the Thunderbolts project might continue with that. She is a great character, and I'd hate for her to go to waste. So the Thunderbolts would be the perfect place where she becomes a recurring character. Ghost. The fate of Ava Starr after Ant-Man and the Wasp is still a mystery. She was in need of quantum energy, but Scott's mission to retrieve the quantum particles failed as he ended up in the future. So Ava never got those quantum particles, but I'm assuming that Bill Foster would have helped her in some way. And now, she is yet another candidate to join the Thunderbolts team. She was previously an antagonist whose intentions were not to hurt anyone. She just wanted to survive. And now that she has found a way to live, she could join a team of anti-heroes as well. S.H.I.E.L.D. used her as a weapon, so she might join the Thunderbolts for the same reason as Taskmaster. Next up we have the Red Hulk. Back in Civil War, Ross revealed that he had a heart attack in 2011 while playing golf. And then in Black Widow, Natasha pointed out that Ross had his second triple bypass. So, he was clearly dying. But when we saw him during Tony's funeral at the end of Endgame, he seemed fine. So it is possible that after the events of Black Widow, Ross may have gone through the procedure of becoming the Red Hulk. He could have been exposed to gamma radiation along with the Extremis virus from Iron Man 3, and that might have turned him into the Red Hulk within the MCU. He could join the fight when the rest of the Thunderbolts need him. These are all the characters that might form the Thunderbolts according to us. But there are 3 others who could also be a part of this team. So I've added them in a category called the maybes. The first one in this section is White Vision. This is a team that is darker than the Avengers, and White Vision seems to be a darker version of Vision. So if he hasn't gone rogue after WandaVision, then he might be recruited to join the Thunderbolts. The next character of the maybes is Justin Hammer.
We're talking to the right guy.
The last time we saw Hammer, he was in prison, but I believe that he might return in Armor Wars. Tony predicted that it might take over a decade for Hammer Industries to be able to replicate his technology. And guess what? It has been 14 years since Tony said that. So now when Hammer returns in Armor Wars, he might have his own Iron Man-esque suit. And that could make him a contender for the Thunderbolts as well. Moonstone. The Moonstone was an ancient cosmic relic that was absorbed by Dr. Karla Sofin, who was a twisted psychologist. She came to be called as Moonstone herself. She is one of the most dangerous villains that Captain Marvel has ever faced. She also becomes a part of the Thunderbolts and the Dark Avengers. Now Zaw Ashton has been cast as the villain in the Marvels, so she could play Moonstone. That way, Marvel will get a villain who could go toe-to-toe with Carol Danvers. And then they could set her up on a redemption arc through the eventual Thunderbolts project. Now obviously all these characters may not appear in this eventual project, but what do you think about this potential lineup of the Thunderbolts? Let us know in the comment section. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. And don't forget to check out some more fun videos on our channel. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!